Hello everyone, I have got another workout for this upcoming week, actually tomorrow, so let's check out the videos and I'll go through everything. Starting with crunches and punches. This one's pretty straightforward. You get a nice heavy anchor on your feet. I like to use these Rogue boxes because they have a nice little archway you can kind of just stick your toes through, and it gives you a nice point to hook onto. Having that hook point kind of gives you leverage in your hip flexors to help pull yourself up in that sit-up. And then the alternating punches is just a combination of like core and obliques and then timing. This is just a nice core exercise. Gets a lot of core, a little bit of shoulders, a little bit in the hip flexor. Just overall turns into kind of like a full body movement. Next one is going to be ring Supermans. So we're elevating our feet on a box. My hands are ending up a little bit higher than my feet, so this isn't totally flat. I try and extend as much as possible, so I'm trying to go as far as I can while comfortably being able to get myself back up and then not having my core sway in the middle. So I'm trying to stay as straight as I can and try not to get that sag. So you're really bracing the core to try and stay as flat as possible. And that's going to be the key for this. You can do this from your knees too, and you're going to want to, no matter what you're doing, you always want to have that flat back. Make sure you're nice and straight from your hips all the way up to your shoulders. A lot of people like to kind of put their butt up in the air, and it's hard to see that. If you don't know you're doing it, you might need somebody to point it out to you, but yeah, it's important to try and maintain that straight, neutral position of the spine and everything. The next one is going to be under grip presses. So you set yourself up with your shoulder blades just on the edge of the bench, and then when we're pressing down, we're bringing the weights down beside ourselves, kind of by our belly button. So you're kind of bringing your hands down. It's almost like a karate pose. I don't know what it's called. It's the standard position they teach you like in your first day in karate, where you're starting with your fists near your sides and you're supposed to do the Kia punches. But in this one, our Kias are going to be much heavier, so you're doing with a reversed grip, so your hands are facing up like this, and you're going to be punching out with a relatively heavy weight. At the same time, you're engaging your hamstrings and your glutes to try and keep this hip bridge position, to keep your butt up in the air. And really it's just the stability of that, so stabilization of your glutes and your hams while you're doing this under grip press, which actually gets a nice extension on the shoulders, because you can see here my elbows actually come pretty far down behind my back, which is a little bit more than you would get in a typical bench press, which is another reason why I like this one. If you have some discomfort in your shoulders, I wouldn't recommend this if you have issues kind of in the anterior delt, just because it does put a lot of strain on that, but it's a nice little extra stretch during an exercise like this. This one is going to be a med ball slam, and then we're going to do a hip bridge to be able to gain some room. So right here at the bottom, see I hip bridge up. We'll go back, we'll do 10 seconds, hold on. Okay, so I hip bridge up. That gives me some space to get a little bit of momentum, because getting back up into that squat position is actually tough without the momentum. It's easy to fall backwards and roll back onto your back if you don't have enough speed. So I find doing the hip bridge gives you just a little bit more momentum for that squat to stand up, and then you pick the weight up, stand up overhead and slam it back down and repeat. So it's a simple movement once you get the timing of it, and once you have the correct weight and momentum that you need to be able to stand up properly. That's really the key of it, is just keeping your momentum through the movement, and then a nice big slam down at the top. You want to really emphasize your force down as much as possible, because that's where the most explosive part of this movement is. And then my favorite, the one that I invented, Dragon Slayers. So it's just a combination of a wood chopper with a halo and then a wood chopper on the opposite side. So you're alternating between sides. You chop to one side, do the halo around behind your head. So you want to make sure your hand actually goes behind your head, not just over top. A lot of people kind of tend to just put the weight over top of their head, and that's, you're getting a little bit, but it's not the core movement that I'm looking for. I actually want to get some rotation in the shoulders, let the weight drop down behind your head, get your triceps involved, and then chop down to the other side. It can be a little tricky at first. You might have to break up the pieces of the movement from the halo to the wood chopper at first until you get the flow for it. But once you have it, it's a very effective full body movement. To be honest, this will work you right from your heels all the way up to the top of your head if you're doing it right. So that's going to be our workout for tomorrow. Again, I'll be filtering more videos here and there from some of our legacy workouts and keep updating for the weekly ones. So I will see you tomorrow night.